What's up, everybody? This is Steve Sterlacci. We're back from NAMM 2026. I'm a few days late. I needed some time to process and get over the little cold that I had from being over there. If you're watching this and you guessed that my travel got screwed up, congratulations, you won. That was a very easy bet to take, though. Me and my wife Jess actually got stuck there an extra couple of days. We were supposed to fly home on Sunday night, and that flight got canceled, moved to Monday. Monday, we were supposed to fly out at 9 p.m., red-eye home. That flight got delayed till after midnight, so we just said, screw it. We'll try to book Tuesday. Tuesday completely filled up. So we wound up eventually flying home on Wednesday. It was a full travel day. So at least I got there on time this year, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world because we got like 2 feet of snow and like wicked freezing conditions in New York. So I was actually pretty happy to miss all that. So it wasn't the worst. This was actually a good, positive travel woe that I had this year. So like I said, Jess came with me this year, and she sang on the Friday night, the Ultimate Jam. I'll show you highlights of that in a second. But she actually got sick the week prior. So she was on the mend when we got there. So she didn't really walk the showroom floor with me much. So as far as gear and stuff is concerned, me and my friend Joe, who's a NAMM first timer. Joe's first NAMM.
Welcome to NAMM. I am ready.
This was an excellent year for not just the digital guitars, but the direct guitars, the silent stage, the wanting to go direct to front of house guitar player. And that's going to be my main focus here of my NAMM highlights. A lot of the shine came from a lot of cool brands that are coming out with new stuff. We also have a potential new player in the digital modeling world that might become the Thanos of the modeling world. The Xrecker, we're going to talk a lot about that later in the video. This thing has the potential to take over here and become something that's pretty different and unique to the market, and it's going to be cool. Wait till you hear about that. Let's just get started from the top with my highlights. I'm just going to kind of go through everything that I did here. So getting there on Wednesday, we got to go to this creator night, which was just a global media day where we got to hear from the president of NAMM. There's my friend Tom Butwin. We also got to see John Mayer unveil that PRS has officially announced a Silver Sky that has the matching headstock, which was super exciting, I guess. Then we got to see the new Fender Personas stuff. One of the cool highlights for me here was actually seeing the Runarounds, which is a TV show that Jess and I actually really loved. They're a real band apparently, and they came and they performed at this, so it was cool to see the Runarounds playing live. And from there, I went to this other party that happened at the Lido House, where I got to see my friend Doug Doppler play. He sounded great. It was an awesome thing. It was a cool event, just like kind of like a little mini NAMM, I think mostly for praise and worship people, players and fans alike. So it was pretty packed. A lot of people, a lot of cool musicians, a lot of great talent. I think Chris Roca is his name, was up there too, and he was absolutely killing. It was a great performance, and he was using an HX Stomper Stadium. I'm not sure, but definitely some Line 6, and Chris Roca is wow, what a badass player. Once I got onto the showroom floor, we're just kind of fly through here, my little slideshow. That's my buddy Steven Marks from Black Star Amps. They came out with a really cool mini modeler that's like a little desktop that sits on your desk. Imagine that. It sits on your desk, and it's got all different cool models in it, and you can get different sounds. The thing actually got loud. You could actually hear it on the NAMM showroom floor, which is always really, really loud if you've ever been there. So this is my buddy Joe, again, NAMM first timer, checking out the Pachyderm basses, which he is an enormous Primus fan, so this was a very big deal for him to get to check this out. Do you think he should buy it? I think he should. Then we went outside and got to watch the one and only Chris Buck just be Chris Buck. My God. Announcing his new Variax signature model, which is his gold top with P90s. It played awesome. I got to play a couple in the Yamaha booth. It was really cool, but seeing him live is just something else. I think he's one of the best players around right now. It was really great to see him out there getting his due, and Cardinal Black doing their thing. We got to see them earlier in New York City this year, also with my same friend Joe. And yeah, he's just, yeah, listen to this. So then we went up to the Creator Lounge where we were anticipating Michael Nielsen, who I met for the first time and is another awesome YouTuber, a really, really nice guy. Highly recommend you check out his channel if you haven't. And before that, I happened to run into my friend Philip Chua, who is going to be on my podcast soon. He's a digital modeling user that is a bass player. He's the bass player to the stars. Awesome guy. You'll see him on the Soundstage podcast in the future. And then I got to listen to the Boutique Amps distribution people. You see Michael Nielsen in the back. He was the one playing this demo. And this is Avi, who I think he's a higher up just at Boutique Amps in general. And they went over all of the new stuff that Friedman and Brian Wampler are coming out with. So they each have their own independent products that not really do the same thing, but they're interesting in that they're focusing on the power amp section modeling. So they're not talking about front end capturing like your Tonex or Kemper or Quad Cortex. They're hyper focusing on the interaction between amplifier and cabinet, which no one's really focusing specifically on. I mean, I don't know how different this is from what the other companies are doing as far as like when Quad Cortex captures or the Tonex is making a tone model. I'm not sure if I think that they account for it, but apparently this is supposed to be some new tech that directly copies or emulates the relationship between the actual speaker and the power amp section, which is a whole impedance thing that's very scientific. Michael Nielsen did an awesome demo of this. So Wampler really is more capturing that interaction, whereas the Friedman is meant to be a very heavy duty power amp for a modeler or for the Synergy products. Synergy products are also under Boutique Amps distribution. So they also have those little VCRs that have tubes in them that you can make, you can go direct with your amps. And this is meant to really beef up your cabinet. The Friedman unit's actually designed in collaboration with Pete Thorne and powered by Synergy, which, I mean, if Pete Thorne's got a stamp on it, you know that it's good. I did an interview with Chris O'Hara from IK Multimedia talking about the new Tonex plug. I demoed this on the channel earlier, or I guess later last year when it first came out. This was an awesome product, especially for NAMM, because I was able to just take this little thing with the 1/4-inch jack and I can plug into any guitar at the NAMM show, pop my in-ears in, and I was able to try out the guitars there with my actual amp sounds that I already made. So it was literally having my favorite guitar sounds in my pocket, and I was able to plug into guitars and try them out. They're like, what is better than that? The thing about the NAMM show is that it's always so hard to actually tell if something's good because you're plugging into their setup, you're plugging into someone else's rig. It's so loud there that you can't hear anything. A lot of booths will have their own headphones that you put on, which like people have been sweating in. You don't know who's been having those headphones on. So I'm not a fan of that. But with this little Tonex rig, it was one of the best highlights because it was just awesome to be able to use my in-ears, my amp captures, which are for sale on their Tone Model partner collection if you want to check them out down below. And being able to just demo everything with my own sound was really good, and a lot of cool guitars were played. I also got to swing by the Ernie Ball booth to see my buddy Fluff demoing his new Ernie Ball signature and Sterling signature model. This Xrecker was something that everybody was asking me about, talking about. Did you see it? Did you see it? It's like, they're like, it's like the Quad Cortex. It's like the Helix. It's like all of these things combined. It's like it's everything. So I'm going to be first to admit that I literally wrote this off as just, another brand just taking a shot at modeling with no background. And they're just like, hey, we can make something like this. And there's a ton of budget options out there that are just like trying, but they're good for budgets that are low and good for, bedroom use and stuff, but nothing that's really been super stage ready, like super professional use. So I lumped that right in with this. But then I actually wound up, while we were stuck, I had a meeting with Ken, the owner of this company, and this thing's going to be a player in the space. He talked to me a bunch about their goals and what their objective is. I mean, the sounds are great. They're modeling. They have their own modeling tech. It's also going to be able to run Neural Amp Modeler. So also it's going to be running them natively. So there's going to be no conversion. So Neural Amp Modeler runs the same way that it runs in the plugin in this. These guys come from a cell phone background. So I was told that they make the cell phones for brands that cannot be mentioned. So I assume that the tech is high and the touchscreen and everything is really well thought out. The goal here is to make this a whole ecosystem and not just a guitar processor. So the sky is the limit with their ability to make this into something great. They're also not skimping on anything. This is not just a thrown together product. These guys are pro audio. They've got very big ties to a lot of big names and a lot of gear. I was looking at some of Ken's rig, and he's got some really legit stuff. This is not coming from some company just making digital gear. Everything has been thought out from the input. They're heavily into interfaces. So this is essentially going to be like a smartphone with a top of the line audio interface, plenty of IO, 2 pages of effects or scenes or presets, whatever you want it to be. And it's going to do pretty much everything that you could think of. They're taking notes from other modelers and other units, and they're still trying to keep originality and doing their own thing. And it seems like they're going to really be doing a lot with this. It's not ready yet by any means, which was unfortunate. I mean, it was there to demo, so people got to check it out. And a lot of people said it did sound good. The effects, it's got great effects. It's got a ton of IO. The dynamic range, he says it's a true 123 dB dynamic range. It's not just a promised or perceived thing. It's literally as big of a dynamic range as you can get, and a clean 60 dB in the mic preamps. So it's got plenty of horsepower. It's got plenty of IO. It's gonna sound good, especially if it's running Neural Amp Modeler. And again, one thing I'm always particular about, especially like when you're talking about comparisons to Fractal and stuff, the input is everything when it comes to your digital modeler, how that input is receiving your guitar signal and how it's responding under your fingers. It seems as if they really did a lot of homework. I didn't get a ton of specifics, but apparently they spent a lot of time getting this right. And that's why it's actually not for sale yet. He was saying that he actually is saying no to business right now. Everybody's reaching out to him. They want to stock them in stores. They want to buy them direct. Other YouTubers like me are reaching out to try to get on board. And he's like, I'm not shipping this until it's 100% ready. I don't want to ship out a product that is 85% there. He wants to wait until it's 100% there. So he thinks maybe around April, we'll start seeing more from this, and we'll hopefully get a couple in our hands, and other YouTubers are out there or gigging professionals using these and seeing what it's really capable of. I certainly am super excited, and I hope that I can get one of these in advance and try it out and see what it's capable of. Even at its 85%, that's like, this guy's serious. He's not just saying like, oh, I want to just get it to 100% because it's not good yet. He's saying, I want it to be flawless, perfect by the time it gets to the people that are buying it. So you're not running into the Line 6 bugs or the Quad Cortex lack of development, those first growing pains. He wants everything to be so solid by the time it gets to you. So I say that this is the Thanos in the post-credit scenes of the old Avengers movies before the Infinity War saga, where everybody's like, oh my God, Thanos is coming. Xrecker is coming. And also, I think we need to work on the name. He said it's Xrec, like record, Xrecker. I think we could finesse that name a little bit. And we also probably need a brand name, but that's to be seen at another time, I guess. Obviously, I stopped by the Line 6 booth. I got to see my buddy Scott Yule again do an awesome demo of what Showcase can do. I know my buddy Jemiel Magdabe also did a tone demo, how to craft a great tone. Line 6 obviously already came out with the Stadium, and now the XL, and now the non-Stadium is going to be shipping soon. I did get a glimpse into what Proxy is going to be able to do, how the process works, and it seems like it's going to be really nice. It's going to integrate very easily into your normal presets. It's going to be one per lane, from what I've heard. So you can put one proxy clone, or whatever you want to call it, per signal chain. I don't know if you're going to be able to do it linear like you can in Quad Cortex, where you could just throw as many in a row as your preset could handle. So it seems like we'll have one per row. And the process seems like it's really straightforward, not too different from how everybody else is doing it. And I'm sure there's going to be some proprietary Line 6 sauce in there that's going to be really nice. And it'll just add into your amp blocks and be really simple to use. So Proxy should be coming in the 1.3 update, which they think could be coming as early as March. So that's very exciting that clones are coming. You can check out my friend Jeremy Vareo. Sorry if I'm butchering your name now. Vareo. Yeah. Okay. Jeremy Vareo did a great video with Eric from Line 6 where he goes through all of the cloning details and stuff. So I'll link that below because that was a really great video. One that I'm not going to replicate because I did not film as much as I should have at NAMM. I also got to go check out the new Quad Cortex Mini, which I did a formal demo of upstairs in the Creator Lounge with my buddy Scott Yule. So that was really cool to get hands-on with this and see what it can do. The Mini, I think, is going to be awesome. I can't wait to get one. This, I think, they really thought a lot of things out really well. And I don't think that you're sacrificing much by getting the smaller package. As you know, I like small rigs. I like to be able to carry it in a backpack. Traveling, being easy, and having some of the best tones available. Very appealing to me. So watch out for Quad Cortex Mini. Okay, this was a fun one. Of course, stop by the Sir booth, my custom Sir up there. It's always good to see John and Justin and the rest of the crew at Sir. They had a bunch of cool stuff, but my main highlight here is meeting Bernie Williams, growing up a baseball fan. I mean, I watched this guy on the field, and he was a major inspiration on me as a player. I used to switch hit and try to copy him. So knowing that he's a guitar player and, you know, we both had the transition from baseball to guitar, him at a much higher level than me, was just really cool. It was great to hang. He was such a nice guy. Him and his daughter were very sweet. So I got to hang out with Bernie Williams. That was cool. I also went, this is the only evidence of the entire night. So that is me, Chad Husky, and Jason Seditis, all Helix users. This was at the Line 6 event that was off-site. There was drinks, there were tacos, and endless shenanigans. There was a lot of people there, but this is the only evidence I have of the whole night. And big thanks to Chris Saraga and Chad Boston for putting on the event and for Line 6 to sponsor. That was really cool. It was a lot of fun hanging out with all the team. So that was basically my Thursday and my Friday at NAMM. And then on Friday night, Jess finally rejoined us and went to sing at the Ultimate Jam Night, which is an event hosted by RCF Speakers. And this is our buddy Tarek. He's the vice president of RCF Speakers. He's been a good friend for a long time. They make the best PA systems ever. And they sponsored this jam every year, which is crazy. They call it the Ultimate Jam for a reason. The lineup is absolutely ridiculous. Jess went through a whole signing for the event. A lot of good signatures on there. So there's Phil X, Billy Sheehan, and I got to watch Phil X and Nuno Betancourt exchange licks for a very long time. There's Jess. You could see this is the schedule, what type of lineup. You got Chris Jericho. I mean, Chris Jericho, I used to watch him on WWF, so that was awesome to see him. Marco Miniman, Billy Sheehan. I mean, just look at this list of people that are on here. It's pretty crazy. You got Doug Aldrich on guitar. Nuno Betancourt. Man, you know, Nuno actually did talk to me. He did tap my rib cage and say, excuse me at one point. So I guess you could say that we're pretty good friends now. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, I got to see Nuno and Phil X just going back and forth, which was so cool. I mean, does it get better than the two of those guys right now and watching rock guitar? There's Chris Jericho, Phil X, and Nuno. Yeah, look at these guys. This was just so cool. Then it was Jess's turn. You could see this is in a whole arena. They got the RCF logo up there. It looks pretty cool. And then, where's her performance? Yep, so Jess got up there, did Girls Just Want to Have Fun. It was a Cyndi Lauper tribute. Kind of an all-star band behind her also. And that as a whole was my entire NAMM show. After that, the next day, which is going to be a separate video because this event deserves it, is the Kiesel Connect party. So Jessica's been a Kiesel artist for the past couple of years, and they did a Kiesel Connect event on that Saturday. Jessica was the host, so she was, emceeing, calling the acts on and off the stage, and just getting to hang out there with Greg Howe, Eric Gales, and the rest of the team there, Phil McKnight. It was awesome. It was such a great event. I can't wait to put that video together because there were so many great highlights and good hangs and good vibes. So the Kiesel Connect video will have its own, but that was a really special thing. And then the Sunday, because we got stuck there, me and Jess went to the beach with Scott Ewell and his wife Danielle. So we got to basically vacation on accident because we never get to take vacations. We tour so much and play so much that we never actually get a break. So it was nice to spend a day on the beach with them. And once they left, it was just me and Jess. So we hit up Disneyland. We went to California Adventure. We enjoyed some nice time with just the two of us, which we literally never get to do. And yeah, now we're back at home getting stuff ready for the house. It's been crazy. We're in the middle of the construction or the remodeling of stuff. So we're currently in the phase of this is never going to get done. So it's been stressful, but it's been fun. It's freezing still here. We have a low of -8 today, so it sucks here in New York. But yeah, that's enough rambling, I think. So that was my NAMM Show 2026 highlights. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you stuck around this long, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.